This is my reading for the Gemini new moon on May 22nd, 2020 that's happening this Friday. For my Moon Magic folks, before I get into this reading, this moon is very important for you. For those of you that are doing my Moon Magic program, it's a month-long program. The doors close in a few days. We start on Friday, and it's a 29-day course that takes you through 3 practices a week that you get to do at home. It's all over email. I do these moon videos. I send practices over email, and then I'm also offering some audio meditations as well for anyone that's doing the course. It's over an entire lunar cycle from the new moon to almost the next new moon, and we get to learn all about how to manifest with magic. It's broken up into a few parts. It's like the basics of manifestation, a little bit of clearing work, and then we get into body and health. Then we move into love and relationships, and then finally we move into money and wealth. So I just wanted to say that right off the bat. If those of you that are watching this, I will put the link in here afterwards after I post it. It's the Moon Magic course for May. I'll put the link in there and you can check it out, or you can sign up for our newsletter, and we'll be doing it every single lunar cycle. So let's get started. This is the new moon in Gemini, May 22nd, 2020 reading. I'm just going to be giving you a little bit of information about the moon, and then I'm going to be pulling some cards. That's what I normally do. So let's talk a little bit about this moon. It's really interesting because it's kind of not like a lot of other new moons. And what I mean by that is the new moon energy is generally a little bit slow. It's a little bit dark. It's a time when we want to go inwards and think about what it is we want to bring forward. And usually the full moon is when we're feeling a little bit crazy, right? Well, this is Gemini season. Anybody that knows Gemini energy knows it is all about being social, talking, communicating, wanting to connect. So during this new moon, we kind of have a little bit of that duality of like, okay, I want to check in with myself. What am I putting forward out there in the world? But then also like, oh my God, but I want to do all these things at once, right? And isn't that the Gemini twin energy? It's like, but I want to relax, but I want to go out, but I want to do this, but I want to do this. So that is the biggest theme of this new moon, is that dueling energy. Especially if you guys watch my last moon video, we talked about how we were ending a 18-month very heavy cycle that was in Capricorn, that was in Cancer, that was all about like earth and water and emotions and heavy things that we needed to heal within ourselves. And we are now about to, in June, we're going to have this eclipse season starting that's moving into Gemini and Sagittarius, that is more of that fire air energy, and we're in the middle of that transition right now. So you are going to feel that in May, especially during this lunar cycle. So you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I just finished dealing with like my own stuff, with these really deep wounds and like dealing with family and close relationships. A lot of that was happening over the last year and a half. And also, you have this feeling of like, well, I'm ready for the new thing. When is this new thing coming in? But it hasn't started yet. So we're in this limbo period where the energy is starting to pick up because of the Gemini season, and because the new moon in Gemini is like wanting us to be social and get out there, but we don't have all the answers yet. So when you're feeling into this new moon on Friday, it's going to be happening all week, and then you're going to feel the residue for the next few weeks after that. Just remember, in every area of your life, there's going to be new beginnings. And the new beginnings, like I talked about in the last video when we're moving into the Gemini season, are really around like, okay, I just did all the work on myself, or a lot of the work, as much of the work that I could do on myself. And now we're moving into, how do I want to show up in the world, in my close relationships, in my community, in like a smaller circle, in like the tribes that I belong to. Who is my tribe? We are all probably feeling a little bit like we want to get out of quarantine. quarantine right now. We are dying to get out there and communicate with people. We are dying to go out and socialize. How that plays out in your life, in your work, in your career, and your relationships is that as we are still in quarantine, we see it's just a little bit at a time. That's because, like I said, we don't have all of the information yet. That information comes with the eclipses. So in June, we're going to have this like burst of energy that's like, whoa, here is what I need to do in the next 18 months of my life. And that is going to be the start of the next year and a half of whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever it is that your soul chose to go through at that time. That's going to start kicking off in June. So we're in this limbo period. So what I like to advise is, this is the perfect period. Like, we want to be social. We want to be Gemini. Gemini is all about communication. It's all about talking. I'm going to get to that in a minute. It's not, it seems like a Virgo thing, but I'm really feeling into this, is like, start making your lists. What is it that you just cleared away? And what are some of the things that are coming to you right now that you're feeling a little bit like, yeah, I want to do that. Like, you know what? I've always wanted to have my own show, or I've always wanted to live abroad, or whatever it is that you want to do. Use this time in May to start planning and start planting the seeds and start making the lists, and really sit down and visualize what it is you want to do. And this is why, because we are in that transition period. We just came off of a lot of heavy work. We're about to transition into like moving out into the world. I hate to say this, but it's true and it's necessary. And I'm going through this as well, is as you're making these lists and as you're really getting serious about what you want, but like you're not quite there yet, you're not quite ready, you're planning, some of your final blocks are going to start coming up. So you just went through a period where you were dealing with blocks and wounds with the relationships, deep seated stuff from your childhood, about self-love. Well, now we're stepping out into the world, and those are the things that are going to come up. It's like, oh my gosh, I want to go out and expand. I want to be social. I want to get out into the world, but whoa. I'm frightened to do that, or whatever it is. Like, maybe I want to get out into the world of dating when this quarantine is over, but wait a minute, like, do I have all my ducks in a row? Do I even know what I want? So just think about that as you're dealing with this new moon. And the whole lunar month, I would say, is that it is Gemini. It is about being social. It is about community. But the Gemini energy is going to last for a really long time. With the eclipse, it's going to be like 18 months with Gem and Sag. So you will have that opportunity to be social, and this is gonna carry for many months. And so it's not just the season, it's not just the Gemini zodiac sign that we're floating through right now. It does enhance it, so you're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, but I need to do it right now. But now is not quite the time. So again, just to reiterate, there might be some challenges that come up around wanting to get out there. You can feel everybody getting restless, and as best as you can, just use this opportunity to ground your energy, ground yourself, ground your energy, and really sit back and think about, okay, I'm dying to get out there, but like, what is it that I want to do? And start making those lists, like I said. The other thing that I wanted to bring up is that it is Gemini season. Gemini is all about talking, communication. We are still very heavily in Venus in retrograde, and you guys hear me talk about Venus in retrograde. Venus is the planet of love. When it goes retrograde, all of our love stuff comes up. All of the places that we feel hurt. A lot of times it has to do with relationships. So we're talking about, how do we want to be loved? How do we love? That could be a relationship, a romantic partner. That could be with our family. That could be with our friends, with our tribe. And if you combine that with Gemini, the way that I'm feeling into this is, how do we want to be loved when we step out into the world? So maybe we did that self-love work as best we could. Now, I want a partner. I want a new partner. I'm in a relationship. How do I want to be loved, and how do I want to love, and how do we want love to flow between us? You have family. It's the same thing. Think about going out there with new friends, or when you reconnect to your friends because you haven't seen them in a long time. After this quarantine is over, when you finally get to see and hug one another and interact physically, what do those relationships look like? You've probably learned a lot in quarantine, and maybe some of them stuck and maybe some of them didn't. You know, you're going to go back out there and rediscover a lot of things, but right now, through June, we are still in Venus retrograde, so the question is, how do we want to be loved and how do we want to put love out in the world? And because it's Gemini, it is a perfect time to communicate that. If you are in a relationship, sit down and talk to your partner, have those deep conversations. Like, what is it? Get to know people again, having conversations, hop on a Zoom with your friends, reconnect on that level, because that is what this month is all about. Things are definitely going to come up. Venus in retrograde is not the easiest retrograde. In fact, it's probably one of the hardest retrogrades because it is about love. And so a lot of things that come up, I know for me, it's like, do my friends really love me? Do they really value me? You know, and yes, some don't, some do. And that's what you're going to discover. And it's because you have the ability right now to, you hear me say this all the time, not be a victim, and choose. Take that power in your hands and choose how you deserve to be loved. Okay? How do you want to be loved in the world? And if somebody is not loving you the way that you feel you deserve, there's always a part of us that has to do that work as well. You know, if we want to be loved in a certain way, we have to put that love out there in a certain way. But if you're like, yo, I'm giving everything and these people aren't giving me anything, it's time to have those conversations. It is Gemini, so you can talk about it. You don't have to just like nix it. It's not Scorpio where you gotta like go behind somebody's back and like play any games. Gemini is like, there's no games. It's just like, look, let's talk about it. Let's have a friendly chat. Let's communicate. That's a huge word right now, is communicate. Gemini is also, because it's a communication sign, this is a great new moon for people that are writing. So if you have like email lists or a company, or you're writing a book, or whatever it is you're doing to communicate out into the world, even your social media posts are going to have a lot of power right now. And you're going to, because Gemini is very logical, you are going to find that you have the right words to say. So when you're having those conversations and you're channeling that Gemini energy, it's like, I have all the right words to finally communicate how I feel. I have the right words to put into my marketing package, or I'm writing a story and the words are now coming up. And again, that is going to translate. Writing communication is going to be huge in the next 18 months. So I know I'm working on a book. I know certain people here are working on books. So if you are writing, if you're communicating, if you're marketing, if you're running a business in any way, or if you're just communicating on social media, think about this energy as like finding, again, how do we want to step out into the world? How do we want to be loved? And like, how do we communicate ourselves? Who are we after we just went through this crazy year and a half of like intense Capricorn, Cancer, deep emotion energy where we were probably hermits? A lot of us were hermits. Hands raising over here. I was a hermit. Now we're going back out into the world. How are we going to talk about ourselves? How are we going to communicate with the world? What are we going to say? Are we going to be negative? Are we going to be like, you know, all these things are wrong? Or are we going to go out there and be positive? So you have a choice right now to define how you are going to step out in the world. And that's kind of what May, for me, is all about. It's about using our logic, using our brains, using our communication skills, and really speaking out as to what it is that we want, right? So I think that's it for this energy. I'm going to get into some cards here. So yes, let me pull some cards. I just wanted to show you guys too that I'm using my unicorn deck. Sorry, the lighting gets kind of crazy there. I'm using my unicorn deck that is created by Pamela Chen. It is the Crystal Unicorn. It's one of my favorite decks. It's just been like calling to me right now. So let's see what some of the cards have to say. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, I just pulled 3 cards right off the bat. And this is exactly what I was talking about, right? So the lighting's going to get crazy in a minute. But the Ace of Cups, which I love. Look at this unicorn. It's like a unicorn paw. Aces are about new beginnings, and cups is the love, heart, energy, feelings, emotions. So what this tells me is exactly what I just said, is new beginnings are coming. Ace of Cups, new beginnings are coming in love and in relationships for everyone. However, having said that, because we're in Gemini, it is because we are going to be communicating to our partner, to new people, to our friends, to our lovers, to our family, what it is that we want. How do we want to be loved? And when we communicate and we put it out there, we use this time to decide that. That is how these new beginnings happen, right? We have to be the ones to instigate it. Like, they just don't come out of nowhere. We did all that self-work over the last year and a half. I really feel like a lot of love is going to be coming in for people that are single. I think after the quarantine's over, like September, October-ish. If you're in a loving relationship now, you're going to be going through a bunch of shifts over the summer, and then it's really going to blossom around that fall time, and it could be blossoming already. But this is new beginnings. So even if you're in a relationship, it's like, how can we re-spark? How can we create more love than we already have? How can we kind of like dive in and talk to each other? So I love the Ace of Cups, which is kind of funny because the other the other card that I pulled was the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, okay, look at this woman here, right? The Queen of Cups, because the unicorns are adorable. The Queen of Cups means you've got these new beginnings and you have everything you need. You are the master. The Queen knows her worth. She knows what she is worth. She knows how she wants to be loved. And she's sitting on her throne, and not in an egotistical way, but she's on her throne and she's like, look, this is what I need. This is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to get. She is the queen of manifestation in the emotional department. So this is like having the Queen of Cups come up right now with this energy in Venus. It's like, just let everything go that isn't working for you and really, really focus on what it is that you want, because this queen is basically saying, you know, you got it. Like, you've got all the energy. And this is, I love this because the other card that came up was the Chariot. The Chariot is the independence card. It is like the speaking up. The Chariot is the 7 in the tarot deck. It's the card of like really speaking out. A lot of times it's like a rebellion card. It's speaking out about like what it is that you want. You know, you just had the Lovers card in the deck. You're going into the number 7 energy. And with the Chariot, it's like it's such a lucky card telling you you have everything you need in luck in any area of your life that you want to plant the seeds in right now. Because again, we're moving into a brand new 18-month cycle. And so that means that you have you're going to be planning, and this isn't just about love, even though we just got the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Cups. This isn't just about love. It really is about whatever area of your life you want to plant those seeds, because it is the new moon. So it is the energy to plant the seeds, to set the intentions. And I believe all of that's going to come into fruition in the late fall, because that's how these moons work. The new moon is now in Gemini, and then you're going to be attaching whatever you want to pull in to the full moon in Gemini that I believe happens later this year. So similar to the last new moon we had in Taurus, I believe the full moon is going to be coming into fruition in October. So that's kind of how it works. So let's pull a few more cards because I love these unicorns. They're adorable. What other things do they want you to know? Oh, I love it when cards just like fly out. Ooh, I love this. So look at this. We're getting a lot of the King and Queen energy. So, and by the way, when we see King or Queen, it's like not male or female. It's just like the Queen of Cups is just like more emotions. And now we've got the King of Swords. And guess what that is? That is fire energy. So the King of Swords is basically like, he's the one that's ready for anything. He's got the sword in his mouth, in his hand. You know, imagine yourself standing on a field of battle, but there's no battle. There doesn't need to be a battle, but you're standing on the field of battle. Sorry, there's a truck over there. There's like a monster truck coming in my neighbors right now. So the King of Cups is like, you are at the edge of this precipice and you're waiting to see what's coming, and you are ready. You've got your sword of discernment. So I'm thinking of this little bit more about discernment, like you know what you want and you are ready. You have all the tools. You just did like a whole bunch of self-work and you have all the tools that you need to step out there. So we've got this King energy, we've got this Queen energy, we've got this Chariot energy, which is amazing. Those are all extremely powerful cards. And then when you've got the Ace of Cups, it's all about new beginnings. Okay, so this is a card that comes up a lot. This is what I'm talking about right now. It's the Five of Wands. So you can see the little, just look at all the unicorns are kind of fighting, right? They're a mess. They're fighting. They're all over the place. What this feels like to me is as you are moving out, and as you, again, like I said, as you're putting your list together and you're thinking about what you want, like what do I want in a relationship? What do I want in my career? What do I want in all of these other areas of my life? Those blocks come up and they create chaos inside ourselves. So that is the Five of Wands. It's like that chaos. It's all these different thoughts being like, yeah, but I can't have it. But I don't have everything together. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I need. So sorry. They're like, somebody's doing something there with some golf clubs. But it's that energy of like all of your thoughts and your beliefs that are not quite in alignment with what you want yet are going to come up, and this is the perfect opportunity for you to clear them. So again, you can see these unicorns. Let me just show you this card one more time because I love it and it's adorable. So look at this. They're like all over the place. They're just like, oh my gosh, there's so many things happening. And this, again, this is the perfect opportunity. The Gemini energy is pushing that. It's kind of pushing, it's like, we want to start, we want to go, but we're not ready yet. And the Venus in retrograde. So again, you have all these new beginnings coming. Just trust that they're coming for sure. We just have to wait a little bit longer for the energy to kind of pick up in that direction because we're ending a cycle, we're beginning a new cycle. But in this interim, my best advice for you is really set your intentions with what you want in that next 18 months. How do you want to step out into the world? How do you want to create a new tribe? Who are the people that you want to form close relationships to? And really, really feel into that and feel like, what is it that I want? And in a really deep way. Because, like I said before, that is going to bring these things to the surface that are standing in the way of you getting there. And that is what this month is all about. It is about clearing the blocks, not from the self-love, not from all of the heavy stuff that we just got through, but really clearing the blocks that are prohibiting us from moving forward into the new life that is waiting for us. So I feel like I want to pull one more card. I thought this guy was going to be really loud. So let me pull one more card here, because you know me, I just love pulling cards. I could like do this all day, all night. Okay, what do we got? Okay, I love this. Okay, the Three of Pentacles. This is amazing. Let me show you. Yeah. Okay, so there's this guy here, and there's these people coming over, and they're basically saying, there's these two little unicorns and they've got plans for this cathedral, and they're like, hey, this is the thing that we want to build. Can you build that for us? And the Three of Pentacles is the pro. He is like the master, and it's pentacles, so it's all about material life, physical, not material possessions like money. I mean, it could be that too, but when I say pentacles is really about the earth, it's about in the physical. So what this means to me is like, this is the perfect sign to say, whatever it is you're manifesting now, you have the skills. You are this like amazing carpenter that can build this amazing thing that they want to create. And in this sense, you're the carpenter. What you want to create is your life and the things that you want to bring into your life. You have everything that you need. You are already the master manifester. You already have all the tools in your tool belt to create whatever it is that you want. Right now, it's the matter of believing that you do, that you have everything you need to move forward out into the world, to sit down with those intentions, and to create the world that you want. And you're going to create this amazing, amazing life that manifests in the physical. That is what I'm feeling like this year is all about, is like, again, we did the clearing and we're now about to start manifesting all of these good things in the physical. I'm very, very excited. So just stay grounded. It's Gemini, crazy energy, times the moon, Gemini season and the moon, and the eclipse is coming. A lot of Gemini, a lot of back and forth, maybe indecisiveness. So, and that is natural. Again, you're coming from the past, you're moving to the future, you're in the middle, this, like, I don't want to call it the void because it really isn't a void, it's just this middle ground where we're shifting, transitioning from one space to the next. And it is going to feel a little bit crazy. It is going to feel a little bit hectic. The best thing you could do is make sure you ground yourself every day with the earth. We're here teaching earth magic. Anybody here can tell you how to do that. Breathing, going outside, really just spend this month connecting to what it is that you want, making those lists. And then when those things come up that you feel are standing in your way and blocking you, write them down, journal about them, talk to somebody about them. Again, that's Gemini energy. Really think about them and ask yourself, is this really what I believe now? Or is this something that happened before that's not going to happen again? Is this a belief I had in the past that I really, when I think about it, I don't really believe anymore? That's really big right now. And that is going to carry you through the lunar cycle. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, if you do want to participate in my Moon Magic my Moon Magic course, it is starting on the 22nd. So I'll take signups up until Thursday the 21st because the emails start going out on the 22nd. It's a really, really wonderful program. It's all over email. It's very inexpensive, and so you get to participate and do it on your own timeline. You get to save the emails, you get to save the audio files, and you can actually use them for every single lunar cycle. It's not just about this new moon. Even though I do these videos to tell you exactly what energy we're working with, you could use it at any time. I will put the link, but it is moonmagic.themagickgrove.com. That's magic with a K. And I will see you guys. Oh, and one last thing. If you are not watching this on our Facebook group, we do have a Facebook group called Magic Grove where we have tons of live content all of the time. We do these videos. I do readings. We have a weekly show called Tea and Magic, and you can find out all about that on our website, themagickgrove.com, and that is magic with a K. That's the right way to spell it. You can find everything on our website with all of that information. I'm going to put the link below, and you can sign up for our newsletter to be sure to get all of those details every time they come out. With that, I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing new moon this weekend. It's going to be bright and cheery and fun because it's Gemini, but it will be a little bit hectic, and you can definitely just take a breather and calm down. And I will see you Friday for Tea and Magic, and I will see you watching the Moon series for the next full moon video in a few weeks. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Mwah.